In Grand Archive, you're not limited to playing cards only on your turn, but that doesn't mean you can play cards whenever you want. You always need to have opportunity to play cards. Opportunity is like carrying a big pillow outside. When you're holding the pillow, your hands are full and you cannot do anything else. But the moment another person, your opponent, takes the pillow, you are free to do what you want. During your turn, in your main phase, you always have the opportunity to play any card or activate any ability you want, no matter if it's fast or slow. During your opponent's turn, when you have opportunity, you can only play fast cards and activate fast abilities. Situations in which opportunity arises: at the beginning of recollection and end phases, after a card or ability enters the stack, at the beginning of the retaliation or damage steps of the combat phase, after an activation, trigger, or materialization resolves, and there is another card or ability on the stack. Let's look at an example. My opponent has a Hasty Messenger on board, and they go attacking with it. Hasty Messenger has an on-attack trigger, which will go on the stack. My opponent doesn't want to do anything to respond to it, so he gives the opportunity to me. Now that I have opportunity, I can play Sparkle Light to remove the Hasty Messenger. I then pass opportunity, and as my opponent has no more cards to respond with, they pass opportunity and Hasty Messenger dies. But don't forget, because the on-attack trigger has already entered the stack, my opponent gets to discard, then draw a card still. Now let's make it a bit more complicated. My opponent activates Hasty Messenger on their turn. When they activate Hasty Messenger, I get opportunity to respond to it. I have no responses, so Hasty Messenger resolves. As there is nothing else on the stack, after she resolves, my opponent gets opportunity because it is their turn. They don't activate anything else, so I don't get opportunity. My opponent goes attacking with Hasty Messenger, triggering her on-attack trigger. My opponent has nothing to respond to it with, so they pass opportunity back to me. This is my first opportunity to remove her, so I play Sparkle Light, killing the 2-life Hasty Messenger. Like I mentioned, because her on-attack trigger is already on the stack, my opponent still gets to discard, then draw a card. Don't forget, because you only get opportunity outside your turn when the player whose turn it is plays a card, you cannot Sparkle Light Hasty Messenger after she resolves and before her on-attack triggers if your opponent doesn't play a spell in between.